morning, everyone. This is John Ginter, your host of the Exploretraveler show. And today, I just think I wanted to touch base on, that's what we're looking for, the flexibility that is used in today's modern world. So I think all of us are constantly being bombarded by different forms and types of propaganda, whether they're coming from advertising or marketing campaigns or governments or agencies within governments or individuals trying to promote their stuff. It's all different forms of propaganda. Now, that doesn't mean like when we use that word, I think sometimes we think of it being bad, right? It doesn't have to be bad. I mean, sometimes influencing people for the greater good and for a positive social change is a good thing. But sometimes it can be used for bad, and in some instances it just makes the overall society fearful and stressful. And so you, as a traveler, you're unique in the sense that as you're moving from country to country, you're learning things that others would normally not see, right? And so today I wanted to talk about your ability to be flexible. And I think when I say flexible, I'm meaning mental flexibility. Things are changing. The world is constantly changing. Some things for the better, a lot of things for the worse. And you have to navigate these, such as visa requirements, right? The visa requirements could change and you may no longer want or be able to even stay in the country that you're staying in now. So you have to modify your plans. That's a form of flexibility. Different kinds of flexibility could be how you choose to do your education. You want to travel, you may have access to the internet, so you can do some online programs. Maybe there's a period of time where you don't have access to the internet consistently enough to have a set education program. So you need the flexibility, mental flexibility, and educational flexibility to be able to modify that educational program. And there's options for that. You just have to think about it from a different mindset. Just because an institution wants you to do things in a certain way, that doesn't mean that there isn't other ways to do it. There's a reason why institutions push certain outcomes, because that's how they make their money, right? They have a financial incentive to get you in a brick and mortar classroom, whether it be online or in person, because that's how they make their money, right? They may accept different forms of credit, whether it be a portfolio learning credit that you can prove that you already know this material because you've had X amount of training from, 10, 15 years of corporate training in electronics repair, for example. It happens a lot, and a lot of people don't get credit for it. So that's just an example, right? Flexibility physically, right, would be obviously having a good diet and exercising more. My diet's okay personally, but my exercise regime has been lacking. So that's me needing to correct course and get back to my exercise regime because it gives me physical flexibility. And so flexibility is kind of the key word, and I want people to think of everything that they're doing in their travels or they're planning for their travels. How are they going to keep a flexible mindset so that when change happens, instead of them getting really upset or nervous or anxiety over it, that maybe you just go, okay, well, this has changed, so let me look at a new solution. And when you look at it from that perspective, it's less stressful, right? Because now you're knowing that, well, there's other alternatives. Yeah, maybe I wanted to go to upstate New York in the United States, but I'm mentally flexible and there's fires going on there, so the air quality is bad, so I don't want to do that. That's an example, right? You can change your positioning, change your location. Internationally, as we saw during the pandemic, mental flexibility was really, really important. All these countries were imposing different rules. They were different from country to country. It impacted your visa requirements. Some required certain inoculations, shots, whatever. Other countries required different ones, right? So you never were going to please everybody. So you had to actually look for a solution that allowed you to be able to do different things, go different places, but fit that flexible mindset. You can't please everyone, so you shouldn't try. You should just try to be flexible in your mindset so you can go and continue to travel and continue to work and do what you need to do. So let's move forward. Hopefully that people found that useful. And I think today, I wanted to just briefly talk about how we've been implementing different technologies such as YouTube's use of shorts. Obviously TikTok kind of made them famous. YouTube has done, I think, a pretty good job rolling that out. And they are a very serious competitor to TikTok in that regard. So if you're looking to expand your own business, whether it be a travel blog, travel vlog, or whatever you're trying to do, if you implement YouTube shorts, you're going to reach a whole different class of people. Now, this is going to be a younger crowd, and I think that's important to understand that, obviously people just starting out, they have less disposable income. So you want to try to make your content useful to them at their current stage in life. And you'll be able to look in your analytics under YouTube Studio and you can see, that age group in there. And so try to address needs or concerns or possibly products that they may be interested in. Because each generation, each age group's at a different level and a different financial level, right? And so you have to be fair to that mindset. And sometimes you're building your brand for a future generation so they know what you do about when they do have the financial capability to, say, purchase your information to be used in a more in-depth manner if you're selling like financial services or something. I think with Exploretraveler, we've changed over the years because when we originally got started, which was a long time ago, it's been over a decade and I don't even remember how many years, because we started technically even before that. When we really got started with when we put the blog out there. So the blog is coming up on 10 years now, maybe it's a little more, and SEO, search engine optimization, is constantly changing. This change really wreaks havoc on anyone that's trying to address their content, trying to make it better. And so, as someone who wants to document their international travels for the main purpose of others to learn from them, whether it be showing them that food is easily and more accessible, or showing them that information, just things that the average person might not know about, just trying to share certain information, sometimes that becomes more difficult because the technical aspects of putting information out there and getting viewers to see it is the new gatekeeper. And so you actually have to become either technically savvy yourself, or you need somebody that helps you that is technically savvy so they recognize and can instruct you on the tips that you need to reach a larger audience. Because you can put a lot of things out there, and you can put a video, let's say, on YouTube, and it can actually get 0 views. It's happened to me, and so it can happen to anybody. And I'm someone that actually understands the technical aspects of it. I think the most important thing is if you've never done anything and you're expecting huge results, you need to maybe temper your expectations, because you have to build up to it. Because no matter what platform you're posting on, there's going to be a technical aspect of it, and it could be just as simple as that platform is monitoring your account in the background and trying to determine the right audience for it. And it may take days, weeks, or months even before those views and people start resonating with your material. And when they do view it, you're going to have to determine, are they reading or watching it? How long are they spending doing it? Is it 3 seconds, or is it 1 second? Or is it 30 seconds to a minute, long enough to actually read some of the things that you've written or you put into a video form? So you have to determine that, because obviously if you're not catching their attention, then you have to modify your intros or modify what you're saying to maybe resonate with that particular group of people, right? And so when I talk about flexibility at the beginning of this podcast, you also have to have flexibility in your business mindset. And in today's business mindset, I cannot imagine how you could have zero internet presence, but I'm going to say that it is possible, right? You could be someone that has enough word of mouth, deals only in cash, and you have a sign that says laundry, and people just, you're the only one in the area of town, and people dump off the laundry there and they pay you in cash, and that's it. So you could have a cash only business, no word of mouth, no internet exposure that you put on there. That doesn't mean others don't put you on there, because I've seen people end up in ways that they didn't put themselves in there. They just ended up in there because people were searching for them. So, and eventually they developed an internet presence just based on their consumers, right? So they ended up on the internet. They just weren't paying to do it, and they weren't actively working to do it. So business flexibility, entrepreneurship flexibility, and a total mindset is going to be critical. These days, there is so much change happening, and technological advancements are happening on a probably a second by second basis, because now we've got so much more information, right? So you have to be very much tied into your particular area of what you do, whether it's your career or your entrepreneurship or your personal learning, and you have to try to come up with new ideas and concepts to take yourself to the future. So I wish everyone the best, and I hope that you've enjoyed this podcast, because this is where I kind of tell you what's on my mind in regards to travel, international travel. And we are traveling right now, and we are international. And if you go to Exploretraveler.com, whether it be our website, or you go to Exploretraveler on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, or wherever you want to find us, or even on Facebook, you'll find that we are overseas, and we will continue to go to different places. We may use one place for a home base for a year or 2 or 3, or we don't know. And then once something changes, or that becomes a less viable location, or we find a better location for our current situation, we may change with that as well. So until next time, travel on, everyone. Stay motivated and keep learning. Blessings.